Hello and welcome to another episode of the Never a Straight Answer podcast, the podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm your host Gaz, and joining me in the studio, he's my co-host, he's the spooktacular Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, good evening ladies and gentlemen, welcome one and all.
Welcome back new listeners and repeat offenders. Thank you for joining us for another episode.
Hell yeah.
This week we're going to be joined by a special guest.
Yeah.
He's the host of the Portals and Gateways radio podcast, and he's an investigator of all things paranormal. He looks into ghost spooky stuff around Chicago and his home state of Illinois. He's going to be joining us back in the show a bit later on. His name's Rob.
Yes.
Can't wait
to
He's
see
really
him.
cool
Yeah.
as well, actually. So you're in for a treat.
Yeah, definitely.
He's going to be sharing some of his paranormal insights.
Yes, he is.
And you might even meet one of his haunted dolls.
Oh, yes.
I didn't get to
Hopefully.
see it. Taylor did.
I did. Yeah, freaky.
Some freaky things.
It is.
I actually asked him to send me a photo of that. I need to chase that up.
Yes, yeah.
Well, got a lot coming up. Also, we've got What's Fucked Up Where You're From and the NASA News. So stick around for that. Well worth sticking
worth a
around
listen.
for.
Yeah.
Before we get into all that, what have you been up to this week, Mr. Taylor?
I was watching about Titanic last night, actually.
The Titanic.
Yeah, and now it's
don't
gonna-
spoil the ending, but it did sink, didn't it?
Well, it depends. You'd have to check one of our episodes.
Yeah, we did actually
in
do
the past. Might tell you.
The Titanic twins swap.
Yes.
Episode.
Well, according to scientists, that they reckon where it is now, it'd be gone by 2030.
What, in terms of like just the
Eaten away, basically, because they've
yeah.
actually found 10 new kind of rust.
We've been doing a bit of research and we've identified 10 new strains of rust.
But it works faster down there.
Oh yeah,
apparently.
well, I don't know, because I've like heard that like sea water can preserve a lot of stuff, but I mean obviously not Titanic boats.
Well, yeah. You can lift it up, can't you, and like bring them back in. But I suppose it depends on how rough the seas are and what chemical.
It erode. I mean, obviously, look at
and that,
like
yeah.
pebbles. I think this is one of the reasons why they chose the area for the Mars rover to land, because they found rounded rocks, which obviously indicated that there was water there.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. It'd probably disappear at some point. So they reckon in a couple of years for the Titanic.
They reckon by 2030 now. So they're trying to get back out there and have another look.
You want to try and kind of salvage as much as you possibly can in that situation, because obviously you don't want lose that history.
No.
It's kind of,
I don't
obviously
think
the
we
feeling
can,
like it's
to be
been
honest.
down there for that long. It's kind of for it to be gone. It's quite sad, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's true. What you've been up to this week?
Not much, to be honest. Just had a hectic one trying to sort some stuff out, but nothing of interest. We were obviously nominated for the Quite a Thing Media Awards. That we attended the online award
Live show.
Yeah. Thanks for everyone who voted for us. We didn't win, unfortunately, but we have been nominated for another award.
Yes, we have.
This is the first annual Paranormality Podcast Award. So I'm sure we'll be putting out votes at some point. Look out for that, and you can vote for us.
Yes.
Obviously, that's pretty much it this week in terms of what I've been up to. But that's not why you're here anyway, to listen to what I've been doing. No. We did get an email for What's Fucked Up Where You're From this week.
Wicked, excellent.
And this week it comes from the Planet X Games Company.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah. Cheers, lads, for getting involved. Well,
nice
one in particular, they never drop your name. They always say where they're writing from, but never tell us who you bloody are. So
put your name there.
Who says,
Don't be ashamed.
he grew up in Arkansas.
Right, okay.
There's plenty of spooky stuff, urban legends going on there. They've got the fair share of ghosts and creature sightings. Right?
So there's a lot going.
He reckons that all the good old boys believe that there's still a Sasquatch or Yeti. Yeah.
Really?
One of the most bizarre stories involves a series of events surrounding a creature called the Wild Man.
Oh, right. Okay.
The newspapers in the 1840s, and this is the earliest known recorded sighting, took place in February 1846, where there was basically a creature who appeared and
rumbling
basically,
around.
yeah,
There's so many witnesses.
His tracks were measuring 22 inches.
Whoa.
His toes are longer than common man's fingers, and height double the size of humans' size. Do you know what I mean? So, this wild man or wild men, there's been, like I say, there's been reports. Other reports followed. There was a surge of basically coverage taking place in 1851 in New Hampshire. So, yeah.
See, it's not just a common thing. It's been this kind of stuff's been going on for generations.
So the wild man, I'm not sure even if this is what he's saying, but this is a story I found about the wild man, the monster, was said to be gigantic sized and covered in hair. So I'd assume that would be a Sasquatch.
Yeah.
So there was a quote here from a newspaper, the Memphis Inquirer, that said he was. So this is a sort of sighting. He said he was a gigantic stature. Body being covered in hair, and from head with long locks, with basically all down his neck, shoulders. The wild man looked like he was like just turned and been out of there a while. He turned and ran. Took giant steps, leaping about 12 to 14 feet at a time.
Whoa, that's
a bit weird, isn't it?
But with it being so tall, I suppose it can.
So the according to people in Arkansas, their town was the first place to see one of these creatures, and this was back in 1834, describing the wild man as running loose in Arkansas, the Boggy Creek Monster, as they called it. Then it went on to loads more sightings throughout the 90s or the 1900s, with 14 separate sightings in 1997 alone.
See, so it's still hanging around.
He also says that there's a Satan worshippers up in Arkansas, although there was rumours to be.
Oh, what? You got trouble down there then.
It's funny, though, because they actually put up a satanic monument at the entrance of the Arkansas state capitol. Of like that goat sort of statue, which is a bit crazy. And he said the last thing that's a bit fucked up where he was from is there was a big sort of crazy drug bust thing or drug cartel operating out of Arkansas through an airport.
Okay.
Right? And nobody would have noticed, because tucked away in this western part of Arkansas, there's a little town called Mena. Yeah, right. I think that's how we say it. It's got 5,400 people and a little airport, right?
Okay.
So it was basically used for drug smuggling. The operation basically would have kind of carried on, but a military cargo plane crashed, right? And they basically found
the cargo
and weapons and
added
all the drugs.
Yeah.
And it ended up being busted. But it's like so crazy. It's like you wouldn't know it was going on, but it was happening just on the doorstep.
Right on the doorstep.
So yeah, cheers for getting in touch, because that was so cool. Yeah. A lot of stories coming out of Arkansas.
Yeah, definitely. Weirdness.
Do you know what? Besides that, there's actually loads of ghost sightings and stuff like that as well, which there was so many. I was just like, I haven't got time to talk about them. But if you want to get involved and you've got a story from your local community, a local town, it could be an urban legend or cryptid or something like that, get in touch to the neverstraightanswer@gmail.com or hit us up on social media. It's all good.
Yes, it is.
So, as promised, we've got a special guest, but before that, we'd like to thank our Patreons, because we couldn't do this without you. So go ahead and join us on Patreon.
Yes, please.
You can go over and become one of our secret agent crew with a number of tier levels to choose from, which you can be an agent, a special agent, or be on top secret, and it all goes to a good cause, helping us do better shows and do stuff that benefits the listeners. So
benefits you in the long run.
Help us out.
Yeah, it will. It certainly will.
So, well, this week joining us on the show, we've got a fantastic guest. He's the host of the Portals and Gateways radio podcast, where he investigates accounts of ghosts and hauntings from around Chicago and his home state of Illinois. He's got a vast knowledge of the paranormal, and I'm sure he's got some truly chilling tales to share. Please welcome to the show, Rob Leithliter. Thank you for coming in.
Welcome, Rob.
You're very welcome, and thank you guys for having me on your guys' show. I do appreciate that.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. I mean, we've been chatting with you before the show, and you seem a super interesting guy. How did the whole podcast come about? Obviously, portals and gateways. I mean, it kind of makes you think. Well, it made me want to click on it straight away. So, I mean, how did that come about?
Well, it came about because I was actually raised in a haunted home. My first paranormal experience was when I was 5 years old. And it just like intrigued me from that age. And the home that I'm currently living in is actually, the whole entire town is right in the middle of a vortex.
Right, okay.
And we actually have a portal in our home. So, and obviously during the pandemic, you couldn't do nothing.
So you were in your house all the time. I mean, it's like,
Right,
did that not kind of weird you out? Saying so when you say you've got a portal in your home, how did you discover that you this? I mean, what's the situation surrounding that?
Well, if you have like waterways are definitely a gateway, and that leads to a doorway for things to enter and just to pass through either or way to come or go and whatnot. And we have a well, an old well that used to be part of this house directly under our home.
Oh, right.
And as most of the homes here in my hometown in El Dorado, Illinois, and that is just a big gateway. It's a big portal. So spirits are coming in and out, in and out, in and out on a constant and regular basis.
That's crazy. I mean, obviously being a ghost hunter in Illinois, in where you're from, and you're saying that there's a vortex in the town that you're in. I mean, you mustn't be you must have a lot of kind of bookings and stuff. People must be kind of calling you up to come and investigate all these strange happenings. I mean, is there a kind of a history of paranormal activity in the area?
Actually, yes, there is. We have this one place here it's not in El Dorado, but it's kind of El Dorado. It used to be open. The state used to run it. It's called the Old Crenshaw House. It's very, very interesting. John Crenshaw used to actually own it, and the locals here call it the Old Slave House. And he used to bootleg African Americans, and that's why it became the Old Slave House. And that place is like excessively haunted.
I can imagine it wasn't like a place. It was pretty kind of exactly, not a pretty place. And obviously,
Right.
if there are spirits there, they're gonna be kind of disgruntled, to say the least.
Should
Right.
imagine.
So have you actually investigated this premises, or have you had the opportunity to kind of do any investigation work there?
Well, now that's funny that you should bring that up, because my first experience, I was 10 years old in 1980. My grandmother actually took me there to visit the place because it was a museum at the time. And my first experience there was seeing one of the overseers of the property walking the property out by the stables. And that's another one that actually helped spark it even deeper into the activity and to the other side of the paranormal world.
So would you say, so from a young age you were kind of you were having
sense.
Well, yeah, I was going to say you've got sort of an affiliation to the ghost, or the ghosts are kind of appearing to you in some way or another. Would you say that you felt like you had a sort of connection to this spirit world, and you were able to or fascinated by it, or just kind of, was it just a case that you were fascinated by it, or did you feel like there was an actual call in there for you to actually become an investigator or work within the paranormal?
I don't know if it's so much as a connection to the other side, but it's more or less I think they have a connection to me.
Right. Okay.
To like other mediums, to sensitive mediums and things, and they've indicated to me that I very well could be a sensitive medium as well, because they're kind of like drawn to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Because I mentioned earlier about we've got a friend who, when he comes round to our place and my place, and he says, there's something, a feeling here. Now, I do believe that there's people who are more susceptible and more kind of sensitive to these vibrations and these sort of,
different waves.
Different sort of plateaus of energy, if you like, or spiritual energy. And some people are super susceptible to it and super kind of pick up on it, whereas other people are just really kind of like, what? Don't
blindsided,
totally blinded and don't really
Right.
kind of pay attention or don't pick up on the signs. So it does sound like you were pretty kind of like on it from an early age. I mean, children generally are, I think, in a lot of ways.
Right, and that's because they're innocent, and they're not fogged.
Yeah, with the life has not knocked them down enough.
Right.
Yeah, they don't know what's going on, so they're taking everything in to try and understand what's going on, but they're actually taking in.
Well, I think like Rob was saying, it's an innocence about children that don't, they're not kind of clouded by stigma of what others might think, what the fact that they've still got imagination and open to these possibilities of Santa and the Easter Bunny. Why not, be able to visualize this ghosts or spirits? Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like I'd like to think that as a child that I would have been more susceptible than I am now. I'm probably a bit more kind of like toughened up a bit now over the years in terms of like not as open to see these things. So,
So I believe you.
Go on.
Sorry, go on.
No, you go for it.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. And and I think too that a lot of it has to deal with and I hate to bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up anyways. I don't know if this is like a touchy subject for you guys, but like your religious background as well.
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, you can crack on it.
Okay, because I think I touched with you guys about this too as well, about my religious background. I'm 427th generation in paganism.
Okay.
And I think that has a lot to do with it too, is because I'm very well grounded to the energy of the earth. And I think that has a lot to do with it as well.
Yeah.
Because I can feel that energy coming from the earth and from nature. And I think that has
and from your past
90% to do with it.
Yeah, I think in terms of like paganism does kind of have a lot to do with kind of the closeness between
what we are today.
100%. And I think in England especially, it was the biggest religion in the UK until the point the Romans introduced Christianity. And before then, paganism was like widely celebrated in terms of religion. I think there's a lot of people here in the UK who still, practice paganism, and a lot of them would say exactly the same as what you've just said, Rob, about being connected, grounded, have a connection with nature, and what's it, ley lines and energies.
Now, more of the understanding.
And again, so going back to you were saying earlier about a vortex being in your hometown, in terms of energies and nature, would you say that was on par with something like the ley lines or sort of? Because I always kind of thought that these lines, energy lines in the UK, which obviously there are all over the world, but I always kind of thought that they were something to do with kind of portals or gateways in one way or another. Do you know,
I think the PowerPoints,
if there was an area on the planet or on Earth where we could maybe bridge those gaps and maybe make contact, or something could cross over, I reckon it'd be those points, especially, and that's why stone circles are always built around these ley lines, and I could be wrong. What do you reckon, Rob?
Well, I mean, I would agree with you on that, because there has to be something to it. I mean, civilizations, they knew stuff. I mean, and they knew it naturally.
Yeah.
And because like here in El Dorado in Southern Illinois, like where I live at, okay, there's 3 natural elements here that make this a total vortex. Right here, we've got the Madrid fault line. There is a straight waterway that runs under Southern Illinois, like under where I live at. And we've got the start of the Ozark Mountains.
Right, okay.
Those are 3 very strong energy sources.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to find out. I mean, what is there any kind of like you were saying about kind of the mountain there? Is there any sort of mining going on there? Is it like or precious minerals that are associated? Quartz.
Actually,
I was just thinking quartz or anything like that could amplify these these signals or this energy. And
where that comes from, I'm thinking in my head as well, what about the Indian culture as well, around about your area, around about what was going on with them?
There's tremendous Indian blood that runs through the community through here. And back to where you're talking about mines. When you live here and you purchase a home here, you have to buy mine insurance on your property,
just in case it falls through. Falls through into the mine.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Exactly. So
see, aren't we lucky?
You mentioned that.
Well, it's crazy. Well, I just was thinking because, like, obviously there is that going on. I just think when it comes to like geology in the area, if there's high deposits of stuff like crystals or quartz or these type of things can potentially increase the energies from these ley lines, and especially when you've got weird things happening, could it all be connected and actually acting as a boost for some of these portals or gateways, and it's interesting when you say as well, which makes up a free side, a triangle. What's the weirdest? So can you give us any examples of things that have happened that have made you kind of think, right, there's definitely a vortex here, or is this evidence that you've come across just doing your research, or is this something that you've come across independently?
Yeah, because I believe you're dealing with something called shadow men as well around your area at the moment.
Oh yes, absolutely. There's my husband has actually came across a shadow man numerous times.
Yeah.
He's actually had one walk with him on the walks in the evening. Yes.
Wow.
See.
Now
that's
crazy. We've talked about like shadow people and stuff like that in the past, and in terms of like because I've got a couple of theories on this, and they all do come back to like other sort of planes of maybe reality. Like into if you look at physics and they say the many worlds interpretation, where you've got all these multiverses stacked on top of each other. Yeah. And when we see these shadow men, could they just be imprints of people we can't interact with, or maybe us ourselves in a parallel universe? And that's really interesting that you said that he was walking alongside, because could it have been an alternate version of your husband walking, but slightly
beside himself,
or
possibly you in another multiverse walking beside him at this
or
that time.
then, if you want to go down the paranormal route, like you say, it could be another plane of existence altogether, a paranormal plane of existence, and that could be a loved one or a guardian angel or anything. I mean, there's so many interpretations on shadow people. What do you think? What are you saying on them? What do you think's the behind this?
Okay, well, you know what? First off, I'm going to say, get out of my head. Okay,
I do this a lot.
Because my total theory on hauntings is this. What if, and this is just a total theory that I've got of my own, it's not by experts or anything else like that.
Yeah.
My theory on hauntings and anything paranormal is, what if they are the total reality and we are the haunting?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I totally get that. And it's like, and if you think about imprints and, you know, say this is being imprinted onto our reality from another reality, then what if we're imprinting on theirs just the same, you know, and we
it's
can
outside the box as well, because it's a right exactly outside the box way. You could interpret it in that way as well.
Right. And what if, like, the things that are happening in our so-called reality is them trying to communicate with us, like we're trying to communicate with them?
Yeah.
And we're interpreting it as a poltergeist or demons or other things, you know, that we consider as a haunting.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, it's interesting you've just come up with the demons then, because I often think when, I mean, I'd love to go on a ghost hunt or, you know, a proper paranormal investigation, where I do watch a lot and I kind of like, I'm interested in the paranormal investigation scene and how people go about it. And a lot of the time it's, you know, when people are doing spirit boxes and stuff like that, they do seem to get the demon or these, you know, these, when doing the Ouija boards, it always seems to be the negative or, you know, when have you been out doing an investigation and legitimately come across a malevolent spirit? I mean, do you generally find that they're just generally normal people who are just looking to pass a message on, or, you know, get cross to the other side, need help getting across, or
they're just someone in the corner of your eye that you see and you don't have actual, you know, communication, but you know they're there, you know, they know you're there, you know they're there.
I just find that sometimes it's quite, you know, it seems like, especially on like your YouTubes and stuff like that, where it's quite, I know they want to get the views and they want to get the viewers and stuff like that. So demons would be a great sell, do you know what I mean? But like, where do you stand on that? I mean, have you ever come up with some legitimate malevolent spirits?
Well, I believe that demons do exist. But I believe that there has to be certain elements and certain circumstances for those demons to manifest.
Right, okay.
It has to be a great element and circumstances for those demons to manifest. In my experiences, I've never have seen or witnessed a demon.
Right, okay.
Most of my experiences has been benign or to the point where it has been extreme, but never a demon.
Well, you see, I think extremes can be, like I was saying earlier, I mean, it doesn't have to be demonic. I mean, it could be, you know, I mean, even if it was a legitimate paranormal experience, I'd consider that extreme, you know, and it can still freak you out even if it could have been like the most, it could have been
a horse walking across the road.
Well, that's one thing. I was going to say, like, a saint, but the fact that any spirit appearing is going to make it a bit kind of extreme for the person, on the other end of it, I think. That's my own personal opinion anyway, but I mean, so what's the best, what's the best example of an investigation that's produced evidence for you?
Well, not so much on investigation. More or less like a personal experience, I would say, was in 1985. I was 15. I actually witnessed my dad being picked up by the spirit that was haunting our home.
Right, okay.
Whoa. So he was picked up by his jaw, like right underneath his jaw, picked up off the ground, and it actually stopped me and my mother from getting to him to get out of the house. And the next day, he had a perfect handprint on his jawline. He had the 4 fingers on one side and the thumb on the other.
That's amazing.
What did you do? Did you get out of there, or did you stay there and
just try and ride it out?
We got out. We got it out.
Yeah. I mean, I would, but was this just like a house that you moved into and this happened pretty instantly once you'd moved in, or was it a case that you'd been there for a while and,
And have you ever gone back? Have you ever thought of considering on going back and trying to see what it could have been?
Well, we lived there from 1975 until 2009, I think it was. We were the longest family that lived there.
Right. Okay. Right. So it wasn't just your family that had altercations with this spirit then.
Right. Exactly.
So it's a mass one then.
Yes. We called the priest in at one point. It was in 1983. We called the priest, and my mom did, and the priest walked in the house and handed my mom the holy water and said, "You are on your own. There is no way I'm staying in this house," and turned around and walked out.
Really?
Yeah. If a priest don't want to do anything there or can't do anything there, then there's some strength.
I find
there.
it dead interesting about, like, the equipment that paranormal investigators use in terms of spirit boxes and what are they called now? Those they kind of have a EVPs sort of not EVPs. Yeah. They're like a device that has a light on it or a signal, makes a beeping noise if a spirit's
if there's some energy coming across.
Yeah, exactly. And you can get like spirit balls and teddy bears and all sorts, for like if you're trying to interact with kids, spirits, and stuff. Now, from what I understand, it takes a lot of energy to kind of set these things off, and spirits tend to drain energy from devices, from electrical equipment, from even the people in the room. Yeah. Leaving people feeling drained and tired and stuff like that. I mean, to manifest the energy enough to physically leave a mark and lift somebody up, or, that's power. That's a powerful energy, and wow, that just really makes you think, doesn't it?
Not even consider a number of moves, but hold your father up for so long. And to push you away in one swell swoop, then there's immense power. There must be.
Have you came across anything since then that has equaled that, or like I was mentioned earlier about kind of like equipment that you've used has been kind of zapped of power, or have you ever had any results on that sort of equipment?
Just my spirit box that I'm just recently using. That's it.
Okay, and are you using one of these? Because I've seen a couple of variations on the spirit box. In fact, we did an episode with another paranormal investigator, Jade from Ghost Club Paranormal, and she's done some adaptations to her spirit box. It might be worth having a listen, because she's added a few bits of kit to try and boost it and make it a lot more clearer without all the static radio interference. So I think that was one of our previous episodes, but I do like the spirit box, but when I see investigations taking place and they're using and the radio's tuning in and out, I find it really unnerving. Do you never find that when you're in a location and you've got your spirit box going, and do you not find that gives you an added unnerving feeling, like unsettled?
Well, I've got my own theories about that, about the TV paranormal stuff.
Okay.
The thing is, I take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I sort of do that.
Because how much of that is actually real and how much of that is actual Hollywood?
Oh, no, this isn't like a TV person. This is like another, like a YouTuber or a independent person.
Person who's gone out and actually
more like
got
me.
these
Yeah,
devices.
so basically does much what you do. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I've never seen her stuff.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I recommend you do check her out.
Yeah,
I mean, like I said, just for the adaptions on the spirit box alone, obviously, okay. I mean, it's like, like I say, I find that radio tuning sound when when it's cycling through the stations trying to, and it does pick up on voices. I find that really unsettling. And when it just, and like I say, to cut that static white noise out, or would you say that was essential to kind of the picking up of the spirits? Do they kind of linger in the white noise?
Well, I think, like, when you get like that dead air.
Yeah.
I think when it gets to dead air, I believe that they're kind of like back building.
Right, okay.
It's just kind of like building up the energy and pulling in that energy to communicate.
Right, okay. So when you've done investigations using the spirit box, I mean, what sort of thing have you kind of found? What's your experience?
Well, let me see. I've gotten an 11-year-old boy that's been murdered.
Wow.
He refuses to say who's done it. I've gotten a female, which is a mother. I think she's the mother of the 11-year-old boy.
Right.
Right.
Was this in the same location as well?
My house.
Oh, yeah, God. Wow. I cannot believe you did this in your own house, because we were talking about this just before the show started, and
right.
Basically Rob's been doing EVPs in his own house and doing paranormal investigations around. I could not do that. I would not sleep at night.
Do you get any, like knocks and, bangs or, slamming of doors or cutlery and stuff like that? Do you get that kind of stuff in your yard?
Well, I get now my whole entire house is carpeted.
Right.
Okay. It's all carpeted except for the kitchen and the bathroom.
Yeah.
We hear people walking on the floor.
People?
Yes, multiple footsteps.
Yes, in cowboy boots.
Wow, in cowboy boots as well. So do you hear the stirrups or the spurs even?
And you can hear it with your naked ear.
Right.
Like in real time. We can hear people talking in the house from time to time.
There's be some good conversations there.
See, this is it.
And we can hear in our laundry room, there's a door that goes directly to the garage. We can hear that door open and close by itself.
Have you ever thought putting a camera there and spying to see if any entity does move?
I actually have footage of that happening.
Right.
Right.
Yes, of a big black blob moving through our kitchen, blocking out all the light.
Wow.
Oh, that's good.
Now,
I'd like to see that one.
You see, and I mean, has it caused you any problems, sharing your house with a couple of cowboys? Because I mean, it's like, like I said earlier, I mean, it's like I've had people say that my place is haunted, right? And I do get knocks, I get bangs, I get footsteps, I get a lot, don't I, Taylor? Yeah, right.
Okay.
And Doesn't bother me in the slightest, but other people come round.
I don't want to creep you out, but actually your place is haunted.
I reckon it is, to be honest. I wouldn't, it wouldn't, but I mean, like I say, but to sit down and do EVPs or to do, you know, these, you know, an investigation in my own home, it'd make it a bit too real, if you like. And I think you're very brave to do that in your own place and then be able to sleep.
Should we do a Ouija board at yours?
We can do. We'll do one next week. Don't worry.
The friend that you was talking about that says that your place is haunted.
Yeah.
Let them do it. Let them do an EVP.
Okay.
Because now this is all like been coming to me since we've been talking. Your place definitely is haunted.
Well, it is. It was built in 1880 something. So
1889, I think.
1889, my building was built, and it would not put it past it. To be honest, there's a lot of history happened here.
You have a spirit in your home that is being occupied by a 38-year-old female.
Oh right, okay. Well,
that's what I'm picking up.
Is that what you're picking up? Right. Okay.
I'm gonna off by a year or two with the age.
Well, what we'll do is I'm gonna try because I don't know if our friend listens anyway, but we'll try and see if he can confirm it, or we'll see if we can get that confirmed for you. Yeah. And if you are right and we get reports back saying this, then I will take my hat off to you, sir. A remote hat
off.
Yeah, take my remote hat off. So I mean, spirits are interesting things. I mean, you've said about kind of like we've talked about energies and stuff like that, yeah. So I mean, energies do possess and kind of inhabit properties, but they also inhabit objects as well, don't they? I believe that you've got a couple of haunted objects, or in particular, one haunted doll.
Yes, I will have my husband bring her to me.
Oh, for real? Right, so she's coming on the show.
So locked up in a cage.
Oh God.
Yes, she is. I'll also have him bring the whole box to me.
Oh right, so do you actually keep it locked in a box?
Yes, I do. She is in my altar box that I made when I was 15 years old.
Right. Okay.
I see.
So
sweet.
Can you?
Yeah,
what can you tell?
Laying around everywhere.
So you're gonna have to tell us about.
I have to unlock my studio door because otherwise Annabelle will get in and handful. So give me 1 second.
Yeah, no problems.
And you know who Annabelle is, right?
Yeah. Oh, is Annabelle as in
your dog?
The doll, Annabelle. That's what I named my cat.
Oh,
Annabelle.
your cat.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
Cat.
Yeah.
Right, I'm thinking a dog.
Harley made an appearance earlier.
Ah,
right.
Yes.
Now this doll, when he brings this doll in and I take it Alex, you will instantly, I'm telling you, instantly be creeped out when you see her.
Right. Okay. Have you got your camera on?
Yeah.
Oh, we can't see. I can't see you.
I can.
Oh,
you can't see me?
I can't see you. No, for some reason.
Well, I can. So if you hear me
go, yeah, well, I can see you, Taylor. So crack on. So Taylor's got eyes on this. Yeah, right. I haven't.
Eyes.
Right, but
eyes
we're
on
getting
the prize.
the haunted doll is
can't see me,
is on its way.
Oh, it's the box.
Can you fix it?
I don't know how that works.
Oh,
I've never used that.
Oh, okay. Hey, lock the door.
Oh, the door needs locking.
Yeah, can't let the spirit loose.
Okay. Here's the box that she's in.
Right. With a star on the long box. Is that a cross? Yeah. Yeah, cross on the top.
Right, so it's a box with a long box with a cross on the top. You said it was your altar box?
Yes.
That you made when you were 15, and this is what you keep a haunted doll in?
Yes, it is a blessed box.
A glass box?
Blessed.
Oh, blessed. Right, okay,
yeah,
right.
You have to excuse me. I've had like 21 little mini strokes.
Oh, no, it's not. It's the connection's a bit temperamental.
Yeah.
Okay, now are you ready for this, Taylor?
Yeah. Show it me. What the?
Taylor just seems what? Come on, describe what you see in Taylor.
Like a baby that's taking a dump, to be honest.
Is this what the expressions it's got in its face?
Like pure white.
Right, okay.
And it's got its eyes closed. It does look freaky. It's like a real baby, but like as a doll, but
yeah,
it's got like a.
So I'm going to ask Rob if he would send us a photo of this doll that we can kind of potentially post. So I mean, how did you come across this? I mean, did you find it and think I have to have this in my life, or did somebody send it to you?
One of my followers actually called and wanted me to come get the doll because the doll was wreaking havoc in her house.
Right. So it was a case of that they just needed to get it out of the house, and they thought you might be interested.
I brought it home, yes, and I brought it home. We set it up with a speaker, and we noticed one day that the doll was missing.
Right. Okay.
And so we got looking at it, looking around for it, and the doll actually, now I can't get the stupid thing latched. And
it doesn't want to go back in.
No, it's trying to wriggle its way out. Good job the main door's locked.
No, yeah.
And so we just mentioned her name and told her that she needs to come back to where she was. And by the next morning, she was back up there, and it looked like she was just starting to wiggle herself back up onto the speaker.
Whoa.
And her home changed.
So what's her name?
Kathy.
Kathy.
That is the name that is engraved on the back of her neck.
Right. So the name came with the doll. So wow. Yes. That is creepy. So I mean, have you had any, other than Kathy doing a disappearing act and then kind of making her way back to the place? I mean, at least she did what she was told. But I mean, have you had any more experiences with her? I mean, I'm assuming because that's why she's in the box.
Yes. Her hands and arms would move. They would cross. Her legs would cross. They would fold. She caused a lot of problems in between me and my husband. We argued the whole entire time that she was in the house.
Right.
Yeah, I've heard stories. I've actually heard stories about. In fact, I've told you about my paranormal experience, didn't I, Taylor? When I was a kid, and that centered around a room in the house where anybody who stayed in there, couples especially, would start arguing, like. I don't know if it was just, the 80s and there was a lot of bad vibes or what, but, it was legitimately when anyone stayed in this room, people kind of started like getting rather sick or arguing. Now, why that is it generally bad energy? I mean, why would an object or a spirit or anything like that, and then it make people, start kind of like being negative towards another person, or that's really strange. I mean, it's like Ghostbusters 2 strange, but well, that's the theme. That is literally the whole concept of that film, isn't it? Like bad energy, people being horrible to each other. And I mean, like, so sorry about this. So you've got this doll, you've had it out on display in your home.
No. Well, yeah, at the time.
The time, yeah. So it was a case of that you and your husband, you've been having kind of arguments. It's, I assume things going wrong around the house.
What directed you to that?
I mean, what directed you to think it was actually the doll?
Actually, the doll that was, bringing all this bad vibes into the household.
Yeah, this doll was just like teetotal havoc. So we put her in this box and blessed the box even more. And we took her, and she stays out in the garage.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So have you found out anything about it since you've had it? I mean, like, there must be a bit of a story to it because obviously someone's carved the name into the back of the neck. It's obviously been passed around. Do you know anything about its origins at all, or is it just a case of that you've got it now? I assume you want to keep it, even though it lives in the garage.
I'm actually trying to find another pagan.
Right, okay. Well,
Right.
if anybody's listening and you're after a haunted doll called Kathy, you need to give Rob a ring, and I'm sure he'll do you a good deal.
But make sure you know what you're doing.
I know. I mean, but this is the thing, though, you see, because I'm assuming the person who had it before you thought, do you know what? That's so cool. I'm going to have this doll. Yeah. And
no, they did not know what they was getting.
They didn't know what they were getting into.
Up in the garage sale.
Ah, right, okay, and just thought, like a creepy doll in my house. I'm going to get that.
No, they actually collect dolls.
Oh, right, okay, and so it was just another one for the collection.
For the doll collection. So they bought it for like $3.
Right. Thought nothing of it, took it home, and then all of a sudden, weird stuff happening.
Do you not think, like, why is it always dolls? I mean, is it just because, I mean, like, the human sort of interpretation? I mean, we've kind of created these sort of
voodoo dolls,
puppets, of human puppets, if you like, that are able, spirits are easily able to inhabit. I mean, obviously a spirit without a body would be looking for the next best thing, isn't it? And there's not many bodies around, and what's the next closest thing is a puppet, a doll, and if it could be able to give them some sort of animation, then
perfect vessel.
That's got to be the most logical explanation. I mean, I have heard a lot of stories about haunted dolls, so I do believe that there's definitely something to that. And I do think that you are probably right about the haunting in my place, and I probably will investigate it. So I will let you know what we find out. So where can people find you, Rob? I mean, what's on the slate for you? What have you got coming up? And where can people find you and subscribe to you?
Well, I'm on Spotify, Google. I'm on Anchor. I'm on Dozer.
So you basically, any way you can get a podcast. I mean, do you do YouTube videos as well?
I'm trying to get my YouTube going.
Okay. Well, if you're out there and you're into paranormal investigations, you should head over to Rob's channel and subscribe. If he's only just starting out, then we get the support there for you, and hopefully hopefully we can get you a couple more subscribers. So what have you got planned? Got any investigations coming up, or are you working on anything at the moment?
We're trying to get into the Waverly place.
Oh, Waverly! Yes, I've heard about this. This is oh yeah. Well, so what's the score? I mean, what's the plan there?
Well, the Waverly place is only like an hour away from us.
Right. Okay.
So that'd be like really super awesome sauce if we can get in there.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, fingers crossed for you. I mean, I was going to ask you. I mean, do you actually seek out haunted buildings to investigate, or do people hire you to come down and investigate properties for them?
We're just starting to get into that. And you just a big old orb go right across your screen right behind you.
Did I? Yeah, probably.
Like right behind your couch.
It's one of those, man, I swear, right? If there is something going on in my house, it goes on behind my back. Yeah, right.
Did you see that, Taylor? There's like a big white flashlight. I swear. No, behind Lee.
Oh, right. Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, it's all right. I think I know what that is. I've got a window directly facing me, and it's like yeah. So occasionally I do get a big kind of like light.
Cars going by.
Okay.
When you said orb though, I was like, that's not normal.
Yeah, I was looking at it.
Okay, then we can debunk that as a car.
Right, all right. Well, no, I'm still not letting you debunk it. I do believe that you're probably right on this. So I will let you know.
It could have been a car. But anywho, we are going to try to get into the Waverly place. I would love to go back to the Stanley Hotel.
Yeah.
And I've been there once.
Right now
they got a 5-year waiting period.
Anything exciting happen there?
Oh my Lord! Yes, that place is like awesome.
It's like a gold mine there.
I love that place.
Wow. Well, hopefully we'll get to see some more footage of you investigating there then soon. I'll be keeping an eye out. I recommend you guys do too at home. Rob, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully we'll see you again.
Yeah.
Oh, you absolutely will. Just let me know. I will be more than happy to come back. If I do get to come back, and I hope I will, we will. I'll be more than happy to do a spirit box with you guys.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure we can work something out. Yeah. If you'd like to hear that at home, leave us a comment. I'm sure we can sort that out. Well, Rob, it's been an absolute pleasure. You're such an energetic guy. Really appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
No worries, mate. Thank you. Wow, Rob, thank you so much again for coming into the show. I love guests like Rob. Do you know, like, he's just so knowledgeable about loads of different stuff. And
weird
just have
story
great talk.
with that doll as well.
I know.
Yeah.
So, like I say, I'm going to try and get him to send us a photo because I want to get that up on Instagram ASAP. If you're listening, Rob, send us a photo.
I'm shaking now.
Shivering
like
in
someone's
my boots.
just walked over my grave.
Well, he was saying because obviously he thinks my house is haunted.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, it was like with the orb and stuff.
I'm looking out for a blue dress.
Well, I do get a lot of kind of light patterns coming through into the living room in my house. So,
you do.
I knew exactly what he meant when he said he saw an orb. So I think we do believe we've got a promo.
I believe so.
I believe I can fly. And this week's promo comes from Film Rage.
Yeah.
Join the Film Rage crew. It's Jim, Bryce, and Murray. They discuss movies what are currently playing, coming soon, and streaming from the past and the present. They talk about actors, directors, and anything to do with the cinema.
So you get right in depth with them.
Some in-depth analysis of stuff. If you love movies, I think they do too. So go and check them out. They're called Film Rage, and we've got a promo for you.
Yeah. You reckon?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
the Washington State man was wearing a yellow dress. He was arrested after he stole a school bus, which was also yellow, and later drove it at the front end into her home and writing off. Deputies first were alerted about the man, who was later identified as 39-year-old Andrew Loudon on Saturday night after employees of the Osprey Rafting Wilderness or willingness. Sorry, with what's that? I'm forgetting this. He told. Fuck. So deputies were first alerted to the man who was later identified as 39-year-old Andrew Loudon. He stole a bus and then rammed it into his missus' house. What do you reckon?
I reckon his problem was he loved yellow too much and she liked blue.
Well, do you think she like stuck did he stick a buttercup under his chin?
Yeah, well, he might like butter. Yeah,
he does.
But I think he went off the fucking rails there.
I think he did a little bit. He went off the rails.
He's had a bit of something, or his head's just
I love it when people go like totally off batshit crazy. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like they're so unpredictable. It's like, where did that come from? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like, who wakes up in the morning and goes, right, where's my favourite yellow dress? I'm going to go and steal a school bus.
Well, obviously this man. Yeah. Well, if you're either that or he's a kinky sod.
If you're gonna cause some shit, do it with a bit of flair, eh?
Yeah, but at least a lot of people will be interested in what's that guy walking down there with a yellow dress. But then again, these days, it's not any kind of weird thing these days now.
I know. Well,
it's normal.
Just get on with it, innit?
Yeah, that's it. But driving the buses into someone's house is different. It's funny though, because
if you saw that driving past you or even crashing into the building, you'd just be like, just another day in paradise, eh?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Probably film it and then walk off.
Nothing surprises me anymore.
No, definitely not.
Saying that though, this surprised me. Yeah, this is a story about radioactive material that went missing en route to Michigan.
You what?
Yeah, exactly. Radioactive material. I'm not sure what sort of
grade.
It was Doc Brown. He was stealing the plutonium. It was like he was
He got away with it.
It was
We're gonna have to
stolen by
scan Scooby-Doo.
Libyan terrorists who sold it to a wily-eyed professor who's building a time machine in Michigan.
This is the thing, though. It could, if hopefully not, it could get into them kind of people's hands.
Well, it's nuclear material. Yeah, I mean, even if it doesn't get into the wrong hands, if it gets into children's hands, or if it gets into any civilian, it's dangerous. And what I'd recommend is, if somebody does come across it, don't touch it. Just get in touch with the authorities and make sure that they know.
Spot something like that,
I'm not sure exactly what it is. It doesn't say. But when somebody says there's nuclear material gone missing,
you don't want to go near it.
Yeah. So,
you want to stay away.
So any more than that, I'll have to have a look into, because this is it's not really kind of give too much away. Apparently it was it was uranium-192.
Oh, that's not good.
It was being shipped to an unidentified carrier on July the 12th to a facility in Ohio. It was being shipped from Ohio to Michigan.
How much of that? Because that's some dangerous shit, man.
They should have gone prime.
Well, they should have just not fucking lost it in the first place. How can
Prime.
You lose it?
You wouldn't have lost it.
You know what I mean?
Day.
What? Oh, I stopped for some ice cream, and when I got back, he was out the back of the van. You know what I mean? How the hell do you stop it? It's like it's a security risk. It's a massive security risk.
I mean,
stupid.
Yeah, you make sure that's under guard as well, really, I suppose. But then again, you get so blasé about this shit. It's like, if you've done that run a million times and you're thinking,
nothing's going to happen this time. It never does, so why will it?
Just send it out. Yeah. It's like stupid. I mean, I don't know what yellow cake uranium, or what is it, uranium-192 is potentially lethal. Can you build bombs out of it?
Heavy element.
That shit needs to be locked down under lock and key, bro.
Big time. Well, have you heard about scientists transforming water?
You told me about this, but I call bullshit. I don't know. What do you? It's like, wait, we did it for a minute.
Into gold.
No.
Yes.
Water into gold.
Gold
I'm not
metal.
being funny, mate, but that's just literally devalued the whole monetary system.
I totally agree. I was thinking of this straight away.
We've got oceans of water.
This,
if you can turn water into gold, then we've got an infinite source of gold, which means that it's no longer in demand, which means it's no longer valuable.
No. That's what, no, cause and the reason why is because
the kitten's box with it.
It's got to be pure. It has to have no salt at all.
No, but when you were talking about this earlier, you said that they were able to transform it into a gold-like substance, a shiny metallic substance, but for a brief time.
Yeah, it only happened
so therefore, it's not true gold. It's not true alchemy. It's not like the dream of turning like solid object or lead into gold or whatever.
It's a key, though. If they've got the key that they can hold it for a couple of seconds, then it only takes a certain amount of time and other elements to actually make it.
That's what I'm saying.
Longer.
It's like you can't say that it's changed water into the chemical element of gold. AU. Yeah, it's not gold. It's something else.
It's a gold substance. Gold metal.
But again, how is it a metal if it's just water? If it's just water?
Because it transformed. It transformed basically.
Yeah, still calling bullshit until I can see it or whatever. I'm not sure. Let me know if you guys have seen this one at home. Yeah, and you can prove me wrong.
Well, if you want to have a look at,
can you see this happening? Is it videos?
There's pictures. There's
evidence.
Not videos.
I want evidence. Pictures.
If you go to Live Science, it's on there. That's where I got the report.
Right.
And,
Live Science are usually pretty good as well. So
and you can see the more of the details there. But it's remarkable start for, like you say, alchemy. On that kind of
because this is the thing.
Because we've been trying to do it for many generations.
Nothing, then you've got it on lock because you get down to cash for gold. You'd be like, have you got cash for gold? If you got gold, we've got cash. We send you our cash. If you send us your gold. In fact, that's a one. Yellow cake uranium for cash.
Yeah.
Uranium for cash.
Think of it this way. Oh, sorry, cat.
Go out and find that uranium.
Think about it this way: there is a number of films where, think about history as well, about a puddle where you put things in gold, put stuff into it and it'd turn into gold.
A puddle of gold.
Yeah, I'm
I've
pretty sure
never
there's.
heard this one.
You've never heard it?
I've heard of gold plating. That's how you do it.
Yeah,
with
as
electric,
in plates.
But like you're
I want
you're
that little puddle.
electrifying the object to kind of plate it, aren't you?
Well, this is a part of it that they fire electrons into it, but it has to have no salt, so it has to be pure. And normal water has it's still a content of salt in it, so the crystals stop it actually.
No, I was told
explained.
in school. Yeah, it's
How many generations ago?
made up. Water's made up of
Yeah,
what's it?
H2O.
H2O.
Yeah.
There was no hint of. It wasn't like they were going. Add a pinch of salt for flavour.
No, but it's within the
Sprinkle of pepper, bit of paprika.
like the sea and that. There's always
what other condiments you'd like?
You got to purify it.
Yeah.
Or like you can make water heavier.
Yeah, but that's
by
why
adding
it's heavier, because it's sea salt. But at the end of the day, that's just through mineralization that's leached out. It's like over the
it's to do with the crystals within it. They needed no crystals within it, which helped the cause and the effects of making this.
Distilled water is. So you're saying it has to be distilled?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's fair.
Yeah. But like this is like the beginnings of something. But it. Like you saying, it's not going to be great for if...
I'm not sure. We'll see what
happens
with that one, yeah. Because, I mean, obviously alchemy sounds great, but it's like, in a lot of ways, if we've actually legitimately found a way to create gold rather than find it,
then...
The monetary system would crash. It'd be like you'd have an abundance of it.
Gold, silver, platinum, or them
whoever
metals.
discovered it would literally keep it to themselves.
Yeah,
and
they'd
would
be the
never
king of the
share.
world.
They'd never share that. Jeff Bezos. Do you know what I mean?
I'd be making money every bloody day on everything I touched.
Wow. Have you got any more news before we hit NASA?
A little bit about
space news?
Olympics. Have you seen any of the
Yeah, it has
Olympics
been the
this
Olympics.
week?
I haven't really watched it, to be
you?
honest. No, I've seen a few bits. I watched the opening ceremony stuff with the drones. Other than that, I've not really had the chance, to be honest, to watch bits. I know we've been winning stuff.
Yeah,
we
have
winning
actually
a few medals over here in the UK. Good luck and congratulations
breaking some records
to you guys for breaking the records.
First winners as well in tournaments as well. Canoeing, I think. Not canoeing.
Canoeing?
What's the other one? The small canoes. Kayaking.
Kayaking.
Yeah. First time we ever won a medal. We got silver on that.
I do know they've introduced a load of sports that people wouldn't normally associate with the Olympics.
Yeah.
Skateboarding's one now, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, which we did all right in.
Doing
good,
I
believe. And I tell you what, it was a remarkable game with the ping pong, China v Japan. I could not believe. I watched
some ping pong action.
Japanese lady, and she was whipping that table. I tell you.
You couldn't even tell us her name.
But
she was whipping that table.
She was. She was a great player, and they won.
Well, it's good that they've gone ahead with it. I mean, obviously, it's like you wait long enough for the Olympics, don't you?
Yeah.
I will check some out. To be fair, but it's like
it's worth having a little gander at him. And then pretty soon we've got the disabled Olympics as well. Straight after
the Paralympics,
which will be good to watch. I can't wait to see some of them. Actually,
fair enough.
Should be some.
Well, there you go.
Check
it out if you've been watching it. Let us know what your highlight's been. It's pretty cool. Well, we've got some NASA news.
We have indeed.
Have you heard this? This is great. This right. So, the Pentagon obviously gave out that report, which has basically made people think. Obviously, they're not denying there's UFOs, right? Todminson, in the UK, people have been going out there in the droves to UFO hunt because apparently it's a UK hotspot.
Yeah,
normally there's pub out there that has does sort of like haunted walks and stuff like that through the attic rooms and throughout the pub. But basically, and do seances and stuff. But people are attending now to go out UFO hunting and stuff as well. So apparently there's been a lot more sightings. And they're saying it as proof that aliens do visit Earth because obviously, even though they did kind of, they've acknowledged that there must be something
there,
they've
yeah.
not ruled out that they're not from another planet.
They haven't stated.
They did kind of from the report.
Well,
I read,
but that's the way they like to make.
You can still
sure.
get that report from the website if you wanted
can.
to go and download it. If you've not read it, it's quite interesting for
I'm
a
just
read.
hoping for these more of these reports coming out, which I'm hoping they're going to come out.
There was apparently
pretty soon.
some information came out from a source saying that NASA had about 20 some seconds of some really compelling footage.
Yes.
Now, I'm not sure because obviously the footage that they do release seems to be a bit samey, nothing definitive, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
In terms of what NASA have been up to and what the plans are, we talked last week about how they're planning on several kind of interplanetary missions.
Oh, yeah.
Now, one of the planets that we've never landed on before is Mercury.
No, we haven't.
Never touched it.
No.
Yeah.
So what?
Well, this is going to be NASA's night mission to Mercury, the only interplanet that we've not yet landed on.
No.
They're going to go check it out, see what they can find. Why? Mercury obviously suggests it's going to be hot.
Yes, and apparently, lately there has been spotted a monolith. Apparently,
There's a monolith everywhere.
yeah. Apparently,
I don't know.
every planet.
Is it because we can't? We've got, we're getting kind of a skewish sort of view because obviously we can see stuff like optical illusions at close range and still get fooled by them.
still argue about the face on Mars, don't they? Really?
In fact, your mother posted something on Facebook earlier saying, was this a man running into the woods or a dog? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a dog, but it was the way it was positioned made it look like a figure running.
Yeah, that's like that biker, that man on the bike, and it looks like there's a lady on the bike. Yeah. And it's not.
So, it's a case of it's like you can be fooled at close range. So, until we get a closer look at these things, we can't really say for certain.
Well, it's funny that they're all on it.
It's crazy. Yeah, you brought up the face on Mars.
Yeah.
Over time, we've had lots of different images.
Yeah.
And at first, on a distorted, squinty view, it looked a bit more like a face. But over time, we've found it's just more the terrain of...
Well, the jury's still out on that, I think, because there is quite a few people out there who... Because don't forget... NASA isn't known for telling a lot of the truth, you know what I mean?
The whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Yeah.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
Well, they've already got 2 missions to Venus this year.
Yeah.
And obviously they're obviously looking at going to the sun, which could be interesting.
Yeah.
And Mercury, Mercury lander mission. So we'll see what happens here.
That's going to be a good one.
Wow.
I like to say that, yeah, because the helicopter's playing up in Mars now, isn't it? He's doing his little flying around.
Got dust in its rotors.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised. It probably closed down.
You see, the thing with drones, it's like NASA have done the same thing as everybody else has done. They thought, wouldn't a drone be cool? Yeah. They got one and then went,
messed up
I'm
a little bit.
I'm over that now.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the brain box is there if
No, but the problem is you can't go out and fix it if it fucks
well, it depends who you talk to, don't you?
Has a
really?
calamity, if it crashes or hits something or if something hits it, it's like
we'll send a cleaner.
You can't get up there and sort it out. So unfortunately,
we'll just talk to the space base.
If it does break, then you just have to send the maintenance team out.
Yeah, which they hate it because they've got far too much.
What was he
work
called? Matt Damon.
Yeah. We'll send him over and see what's
Come on, Matt.
Go on.
Sort it out.
Well, have you heard this about? They've just found a spot. They've looked at a spot on another side of a black hole. For the first time and seen light coming through
at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. And they're talking about it's because of its gravity.
It's gravitas.
Pull.
Yeah.
And can bend magnetic
fields. In the room, it was like Patrick Stewart. It just had gravitas.
It did.
It was, and you could see the light from the other side of his dome.
You can't. Well, they're saying that the magnetic field and the twist of the light.
It was Ian McKellen then. Sorry, I watched the X-Men movie recently. It's like,
to act like basically it acts like a mirror. It basically
so it's actually light reflecting back on itself.
Yeah. And it was seen by the high-powered X-ray telescope, and it basically looked at a supermassive black hole, 800 million light years away. and Stanford University.
There you go then.
Yeah.
Quality stuff.
Yeah.
I know that obviously a lot of people have been following what Jeff in space recently.
Yeah.
He got a bit pissed off the other week because we did actually talk about it last week, whereas he got denied his deal with NASA, which was handed over to SpaceX.
That's true.
Jeff then asked and pleaded for them to give him a second chance. He'd not yet had his Blue Origins up.
Yeah.
And he wanted them to see what he could do before they handed off all this capital to
Just 'cause he
another
got the money,
company. So Jeff has he went to NASA and asked them if he could be kind of like re-evaluated or, give him another shot. They've denied Jeff Bezos' attempt to overturn NASA's Lunar Lander Award to SpaceX.
Conquer the world.
It's like offering, basically, right, we give somebody an award or a prize and then turn around and go, oh, nah, we're taking it off him and giving it to somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm not being funny, Jeff, but at the end of the day, I think SpaceX has done a hell of a lot more recently for space travel and the furthering it.
That.
Just not firing your mates up in a little fucking one-time shuttle.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And
10 minutes up in space.
Exactly, and all you do is sell stuff through shops.
Yeah.
That is basically what you do. You're
not furthering the cause of mankind by making sure I get my fucking, me ankle socks in time or whatever.
What's
Elon Musk.
Yeah, what's he done? He's done electrical and
electric
places.
vehicles.
Yeah.
Where the list is fucking endless, isn't it?
I mean, it's bigger than
his company has done.
He needs to stop his big head and slow down a bit and give more to the community instead
Jeff,
of
slow your roll,
pockets.
mate.
Yeah.
Slow your roll.
Exactly. Pay your workers right.
Oh,
yeah, you should do, man.
Well, I don't work for Amazon.
I don't think I'd ever work for Amazon, to be honest.
Well, I might have to soon, so shush, don't knock Jeff.
Yeah, it's a great place. Great place, man. Yeah,
Is it fun?
Yeah.
Right, come on. What's your NASA stories?
Okay. For the first time,
astronauts.
Astronomical witnessed a moon forming next to a planet for the first time ever, because we was only guessing until up to now.
I think that it was an educated guess. It was only some people who were saying, nah, that's not how moons form, and it was probably a flat earther who said it. And to be honest, I think they were pretty bang on with how moons formed, and now it's been proven.
Yeah, true. Well, it was seen by the Very Large Telescope, the VLT, which is a brilliant telescope, that. And the planets that they were looking at was PDS 70b and PDS 70c, if you want to have a look.
They don't make them easy, do they?
They don't.
It's like, do you remember that telescope?
Yeah.
Do you remember, what was it? Which one was it, PDE or, I don't know, I've already forgotten.
Oh, no, that's the planet.
Oh, is that the planet?
Yeah.
There you go.
The VLT's the telescope.
Can't you come up with some cool names for them?
I thought it was because it is a very big telescope, so they've put it correctly on that one.
How do you mean?
Well, they called it the Very Large Telescope.
No,
because it's
wait a minute.
large.
We've literally just misinterpreted each other, and then when you put us straight, you misinterpreted me straight away.
Right. Sorry,
you said that the planet was called P1E or something.
PDS.
Right, and I said, why don't they name them properly and call them something cool? And you went, yeah, well, they did. It's called the Very Large Telescope. And I'm like, no, the planet.
Yeah,
It's late. We're getting on in the night.
Is.
So they've discovered that this moon has formed or is forming.
Yeah, it's actually in its forming right now.
So how long before we land on it?
Well, yeah, if we ever.
Could be one for NASA to have a look at, because obviously we can land on anything really now. We can land on like asteroids.
Yeah, but we're have to do
if we wanted. But I think that to investigate a moon forming, and if it was already partially formed, you could get a lot of information from that, wouldn't you be able to? Yeah,
but we can look into other galaxies, and this is the thing, we've seen this in other galaxies, so it's going to be the thing of the travelling from here to there, unless we can work out the wormhole theories and that, and being able to get there in a faster time. Because there's no point, freezing people and going, right, go over there, see if it's all right, and then come back. Because by the time they get back, we'd already probably left the planet and like been gone on to like stage 5 and would like we'd conquered the universe.
There you go. Well, then we'd still be kind of that step closer to be able to get out to that second galaxy.
Yeah, but we'd be whoever goes there would be very primitive on the way when they come back.
How do you know by the time we?
Because of the time of the distance, freezing someone, it's going to take millions of years to get there and then do your observing and all that, and then come back. All that kind of shit.
Hardly worth going, then, is it?
It's not. So I think we need to deal with some kind of holes of quick distance.
We need to get in the holes.
We need to get them holes going, yeah, man. We need to travel out there. But then again, we need to sort ourselves out as well.
Well, I think that's the end of the show, isn't it?
I think it is, Shan. I think it is.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed it. I thank you for Rob for coming in and joining us on the show.
Yeah.
If you managed to get to the very end, you're a fucking legend.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week.
We will.
If you've got any questions, queries, or suggestions, you know what to do. You can email us at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter at NASA_never or on Instagram at neverstraightanswer. We're available on all podcast platforms, so you know what to do. Go and subscribe.
Yeah.
We're on YouTube as well.
We are.
We'll be back next week for another episode.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, yeah. Got a good one next week, so make sure you come back and join us. If you've not downloaded this week's, last week's, and the weeks before, you know what to do. Go and do it.
Yeah. Go and have a look at some of our old
just download it again, then, delete it and download it again.
Yeah.
Head over to Patreon or hit up the website.
Please
Everything's
do.
on the website if you want to go and check it out at neverstraightanswer.co.uk.
Everything.
We'll catch you next week. I've been Gaz.
I've been Taylor.
We've been the Never a Straight Answer podcast. Peace.
Outside.
It's time to feel the rage. Join us on Film Rage, where we talk movies, current releases, coming attractions, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim.
Hey.
And Murray.
Yo. Why is it you always talk all the time? I can't
'Cause I
understand
got
why
the
your
sweet,
voice
sweet
is so...
voice.
This is the Merman, the voice of reason. These two can't agree on anything most of the time. Some movies are Mondo, some are just suck. Every week something is going to make us rage. Join us every Wednesday and
Feel the rage.